Good morning here from Los Angeles. Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and also with Aspiring magazine back east. And I'm so excited to have my friend and a wonderful author. I can't wait to delve into this. So I'm going to have her introduce herself. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, Valerie, thank you so much for having me. And my name is Nicki Fischer, and I'm here live in Palm Springs, California, ready to be interviewed by you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. It's my home away from home, Palm Springs.
Yes,
Okay, we're
absolutely.
talking about this amazing book that I believe is going to change lives. We're going to see right now, we're going to delve into it. The phrase inside out revolution is powerful. What was the moment you realized that lasting change has to start within the body before the mind can truly shift?
Well, nothing else worked. And in 2003, I was about to face a third neck surgery in 3 years, and it was just devastating. And I was out of options. And this particular surgery was going to take out some body parts, and there was no putting anything back. So I just had to find a way. I had 1 month before the actual surgery, and I was going to go through with it because there really wasn't any other alternative. And through that time period of that 1 month, I tried anything and everything. And I had found something that had given me back just a moment of peace internally. It was a nanosecond, but the long road out that I'd been trying to get out of was not working. And I had to find something that would stop this excruciating neck nerve pain, the spinning in my head from just being so devastated and emotional trauma that we all suffer with at some point in our lives. And just nothing worked. These physical movements in my body that I would try to create and draw away from the pain started to work, but it was fleeting. It wasn't fast, it didn't happen, but it did happen and did stop the pain. So that's when I realized that there was no talking my way out of this. There was no wishful thinking or hope that the pain would stop. It just wouldn't. So I realized that the body movements were something that was going to be needed to get this to stop. And that's when I realized that body-centered healing is really where it's at because it's where it starts. We first feel it in the body, and that's the cause. And then the effect is what we end up living with for the rest of our lives, trying to fix, which has absolutely nothing to do with the cause. So
Mhm.
that's when I realized the body is key.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear about, your health, your neck situation and all that, but if it brought this to mind, then let's just keep talking about it. The Fisher method. It suggests a reversal of how we traditionally approach healing. What
Mhm.
do most people get wrong about fixing the mind first, and how does freeing the body change that equation?
Well, I always like to say that, first of all, there's really no wrong way, but what I've come to understand and realize that there is a correct order. And when you get things in order, I mean, think about it. If you had to learn to ride a bike with no hands first, nobody would be able to ride a bike. And every time you wanted to ride a bike, you'd have to learn to ride the bike again because you're learning to ride it out of order. So it's kind of the same thing with our body and our mind. Our body is primary, and the body is responsible for the mind continuing to function. So, however well the body is running and functioning will determine how well you living in that body are going to be able to use the mind and how much of that mind you can use to function. So it's, like I said, there's no wrong way. But the mind is really the effect, and the feelings we get in the body are the cause. So we spend, like I said, our whole lives trying to fix the effect, and that's using the mind, and it will work. It will work, but it's temporary until it comes back. My question always, I've been a very curious person, and nobody could ever answer a lot of my questions. And my main question was, why do we do things that we don't want to do, that we want to stop doing, and we continue to do them over and over again, no matter how hard we try to stop? So that's when I also realized that the mind is not going to get the body to stop doing what it's doing because the cause is what needs to be addressed, not the effect for long-term relief.
Well, your work bridges physical awareness, emotional intelligence, and the mindset. How do you see the body acting as a gateway to mental freedom rather than just a vessel we carry around?
Well, the confusing thing is that the body is both a gateway and a vessel. So that's where it gets confusing because there's two sides to everything. And the key is to inner peace is to address the cause first, like I just had said,
Hmm.
and then the internal chaos that we feel inside so that it rids us of that internal chaos so that we can have clear access to a clear mind. So when you clear the body and with the Fisher method are grounded, it automatically connects you, it automatically clears the mind. You don't have to do any of that. Just like in the other side of that, when the body's in chaos, you didn't have to do anything. When you start to spin in your head out of control, you again didn't have to do anything. It's just the way the dominoes fall. They either go this way or they go that way. And I figured out a way to get the body to follow your command and go in the right direction, which leads you forward, as opposed to constantly going back and regurgitating and ruminating and everything in the past. And it's never ending. I call it a wheel within a wheel. And we get better at getting worse and not don't even know it.
For readers who feel stuck despite years of therapy and self-help books, as there's a lot of them out there, or wellness trends, what makes your method, the Fisher method, a different entry point into transformation?
Well, the Fisher method resets your central nervous system at the root. So where everything starts to go awry, now you can actually fix it at the root and then you're free. You're free in a sense that you are no longer in a reactive state. You're now actually in a state where you have a pause. And that's the Fisher method gives you back that pause, that moment to be able to keep yourself connected where you have access to reason and logic and critical thinking and can actually respond and decide what you think and decide how you want to feel about it, as opposed to continuing to just react. And then you spend your whole life trying to stop what you just keep doing. And there's just no way out. You can't focus on moving forward when you're moving backwards. It's just
Yeah.
and having the same ruminating thoughts, and then you spend your life trying to get those to stop and you just don't move forward. When you use the Fisher method and you have your pause back, you have that moment to think and decide. And that's different as opposed to doing what you always do first and react and think about what you just did again, which has nothing to do with what you'd like to do, but you can't stop. So we spend a lot of time and effort trying to understand why we do what we do. And if you wind it backwards, it's just the body's out of balance. And we are pushed aside because we didn't do anything to get the body to regain balance. So the body has to do it and pushes us aside, and we get stuck in these loops while the body repairs itself or regains balance. So it's a whole new paradigm shift for how healing can actually happen and go on autopilot, which is amazing. That's the most amazing part of the Fisher method is that like riding a bike, once you learn how to do it, you don't have to keep relearning. The body goes into bike mode. Once you learn how to do the Fisher method, the body goes into grounding mode and it automatically grounds you instead of automatically disconnects you. And when it automatically grounds you, like I said earlier, it automatically reconnects you. You don't have to reconnect yourself. It's just the order of things. And then it automatically clears your mind and you're free now and you have your free will back. And the Fisher method also teaches you how to keep your free will. And that's the most important thing is because who doesn't want to be free? Who doesn't want to have a clear mind and not have the stomach getting in this turmoil and the head spinning out of control all the time? I mean, we all do. So this just puts an end to it. And I like to say, game over, life begins. Because now you have command back with your body and you are now in harmony with yourself as one, as opposed to being connected externally all the time as one with others or other things, which doesn't lead to peace inside and inner peace.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. As we start winding down here, a little intimate here, what surprised you most while developing this method, either about the human body, the mind, or even about yourself?
Well, I mean, I've always been fascinated with the human body system because it's remarkable. But I also at the same time couldn't understand why, as remarkable as it was, why I couldn't get the pain to stop. I couldn't get the emotional turmoil to stop. Nothing would stop. And just the resilience of myself actually over all these years. It's been 22 years since I stopped this third neck surgery in 2003. And I did this from the inside out. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew that what I was doing stopped the pain. And it was constant. You know, I was bedridden 5 to 7 days a week. So it was pretty terrible. And now I've got my life back, and and now I'm in a position where I can actually think before I do. You know, sometimes you still make mistakes, but at least you have presence of mind and you stay present. And that's the thing that's been most important. I didn't really know what being present was. And because you're always in your head, you're talking to people and you're thinking about what you're going to say before they even finish, and you're not really tracking or listening because you're so worried about what it is that you're going to say. And that doesn't happen anymore. Now I am able to just listen and be there, pause, reflect, and respond. It's just a whole different way to live. And I've lived both ways, and I would never go back to the other way ever if my life depended on it, because your life actually does depend on it. If you want to be free and free to be, you have to have a clear mind. And to have a clear mind, you have to be reconnected to your body. And to be reconnected to your body, you have to stay grounded. And the Fisher method will do that for you. And it forces the body to stay grounded, which is a beautiful thing. And that's what's really surprised me about all of this, is that it's so simple, yet it took so long to create and figure out and hone and figure out this shortcut to inner peace.
Mhm. Wow, I can't thank you enough. I mean, not just for being my friend, but to bringing this book to our attention. So tell our readers and our viewers, how can they find out more about the book and more about you? Social media, website, when will the book be out?
The book is going to actually be released on Friday. We're going to have pre-orders, and it's called The Fisher Method. It's the Inside Out Revolution, and my tagline is "Free the body to free the mind," and it's in that order. You have to free the body to free the mind. Otherwise, the mind is stuck in a prison. There's just no way out. And I've got on, let's see, Instagram, it's author.Nicki Fischer, and Facebook is The Fisher Method. So I look forward to people reading the book and finding out that, it's really, this is hope. It's hope, it's easy, and it's life-changing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nikki
Thank you
Fisher.
so much for having me.
Yes. Yay. Well, we're the Hollywood Times dot today or HollywoodTimes.net is our website. Our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official, and we're also aspiringmagazine.com. And I'm so excited to bring this to everyone's attention, and I'm excited to see you again. So, happy holidays, and keep going. We're
Thank
ready for
you.
you. We're
Thank
ready
you, and
for
happy
it.
holidays to you. And I look forward to hearing people's comments about the book. And I'm very excited to share this with humanity.
Yay. All right, great. Have a great
Thank you,
rest of your
Valerie. I
day there in
appreciate
Palm
it.
Springs.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.